Wow, they could have won that. They could have won it, but we got lucky. Hi there, I'm the BigCraigO and you're joining me today to watch the next in my deck tech series. Today we're going to be focusing on all things black with a mono black devotion deck. So let's go and check out the deck. Okay, so here's the deck itself. It is a best of one, so it doesn't have a sideboard. It doesn't use any of the sort of learn mechanic at this point in time, so see how it goes. Starting off in the 1-drop slots, we've got two sort of spells that fit in here. We've got 2 Blood Chief's Thirst. It's a removal spell, costs 1 black mana, and it can be kicked for an additional black and 2 others. Destroy target creature or planeswalker with mana value 2 or less. If you kick it, it can be any casting cost. We run 4 Serrated Scorpions, so this is a 1-drop 1/2. When it dies, it deals 2 damage to each opponent and you gain 2 life. In the 2-drop slot, we have a 3 of in the Dream Devourer. It's 1 black, 1 other for a 0/3, but you can actually foretell any of your spells that you have across the deck, and every time you foretell a spell, it actually gets +2/+0 until end of turn. We've got I always say this wrong, Temerat, chosen from death, 2 black for a 2 and X being equal to your devotion 2 black. You can pay 1 black, 1 other, and exile up to 2 target cards from graveyards. It can be either yours or your opponent's. Each creature that you exile that way, you'll actually gain 1 life, which is quite useful to keeping you kicking along. We run a full play set of 4 Murderous Riders. So this is a 2/3 life king creature with 2 black, costing 2 black and 1 other. It also has an instant removal spell attached to it in the form of an adventure called Swift End, which is also 2 black and 1 other. Destroy target creature or planeswalker, you lose 2 life when you use it. Pretty cool. In the 4-drop slots, we've got 2 extinction events, quite great for just doing that mass removal. And then because it puts the creatures into exile, it actually quite helpful for sort of clearing the board and stopping your opponents from being able to bring things back. 3 Rankles, it's a legendary creature, so you don't want to have the full play set of 4. I think that having 3 is a fairly good sweet spot. There may be some times where you'll get 2 in your hand, but it is what it is. It's better that than not having any. It's a 4 casting cost, 2 black, 2 other for a 3/3, has flying and haste. And whenever you do damage to your opponent, you get to pick if you want them, both you and your opponent, to discard a card, to lose 1 life and draw a card, and or sacrifice a creature. So you can do 1, 2, or all 3, or none if you choose. We also run 3 of this Covetous Urge. It's 4 blue or all black, but obviously it's a mono black deck, so it's all black. It's a sorcery speed. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from that player's graveyard or hand and exile it. You may cast that card for as long as it remains exiled, and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast that spell. Pretty cool. Moving on to the 5-drop slots, we have 4 of the Grey Merchant. So this is an all-star card, 2 black, 3 other for a 2/4. When the Grey Merchant comes into play, or enters the battlefield, each opponent loses X life, where X is your devotion to black, and you gain life equal to that life lost this way. So it's pretty good from that point of view, especially considering a lot of the cards in this deck, and specifically creatures that are in this deck, have 2 or more black mana devotion. We also run 3 Tegrid, God of Fright, 2 black, 3 other for a 4/5 menace creature. Anytime someone sacrifices a non-token permanent or discards a permanent card, you can choose to bring it into play under your control. The other side of this card is the actual lantern that Tegrid uses. It's a legendary artifact. You can tap it, target player loses 3 life unless they sacrifice a non-land permanent or discard a card. Therefore, if you happen to be in a situation where you've got Tegrid and Tegrid's Lantern out, you're going to start setting up an engine that drops things into your control on the battlefield, which is quite nice. You can pay 1 black and 3 other to untap Tegrid's Lantern, giving you multiple activations per turn as well. And then finally, in the last creature slot, we run 3 Massacre Worms. So this is 3 black, 3 other for a 6/5 creature worm. When Massacre Worm enters the battlefield, creatures your opponent's control get -2/-2 until end of turn. Whenever a creature an opponent control dies, that player loses 2 life. Look, I've seen this do devastating things over the years that it's been in play, or in existence, I should say. It can be quite nasty, so it just really depends if your opponent plays around it or not. If they don't, they're in for a world of hurt, so hopefully we'll get to use it that way. As far as the land goes, it runs a full play set of 4 Castle Locked Wayne, and it runs 17 Swamps and 4 Crawling Barrens. Not really sure about the land build at the moment, but we'll see how we go from playing a few games. We might modify it and come back to it later. All right, cool. Let's go and check out the mana curve. Well, okay, so as you can see here, average casting cost is 3.3. It is going to be a bit of a slower deck, mid to sort of control-y type deck. It's got 28 creatures in total in it, so it is a creature-heavy deck. It runs 7 non-creature spells. It's fairly well spread out. You can see there the mana curve is actually quite full. The cards, etc. As I said before, there is some blue represented here, but we don't have any blue mana, so it is all black. We do have some pretty choice options when it comes to removal and other bits and pieces. So ultimately, what it comes down to is you need to hit your land drops every turn. I think that all in all, this is a land heavy deck because of the devotion. So there might be normally monocolored decks I've found in the past. If they don't have a huge amount of devotion or color centered requirements, it makes it a little bit easier when you get those colorless lands. So hopefully that doesn't become an issue, but I guess time will tell. All right, let's go and play some games. Well, here we go with the first in the first game with this particular new deck. As those of you that are regulars to the channel and my deck tech series will appreciate, I always play the first game against Sparky. This just gives me a chance to get my head around the different lines of play, but also to talk through anything that I'm sort of seeing or thinking about. So looking at this hand here, you've got 4 land, which is quite a bit, but obviously based on the way the deck actually plays, it shouldn't be too bad. I've got a 1-drop and some removals, so we'll keep this one.
Ready to play.
Say hello to Sparky. Wish her a bit of luck. Play out that. Start off with a Serrated Scorpion. Stick one there, attack for 1. I won't do that yet. What I'll do is I'll attack. See if they block. Don't think they will. I was wrong. End turn. Excuse me. Okay, stray cat. Alright, so I'm going to start sort of trying to mix it up a bit. Not too concerned about that at this point in time. Lifelink here, so yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. Go through and attack with the flyer. Each player draws a card, loses a life. Discards a card. That's it for now. I'm going to discard the second castle. Or lock twain. I drew another one anyway, so there you go. Sure.
Super awesome.
Yeah, play the Massacre Worm. Attack. Sacrifice a creature. Basically do all three. Go that way. All right, loving that. Interesting. All right. Attacking for lethal. Seems pretty consistent and solid. So, all right. All in all, I think it does what it's supposed to. Just keeps pushing the damage in. Yeah, let's go and play against some human opponents. Well, this opening hand looks fairly promising. It's got some land. It's got some creatures. It's got a little bit of removal. So, let's see how we go. Shadow of Intent. Say hello to them. Okay, play our hands. I'm going to kill this just because I don't like it. Yeah. I'll play the Dream Devourer. Yeah. We take 2 damage, but that's okay. No attacks at this stage. Just going to keep building up my resources. So 3, 4, 5 here. 5 mana. Okay, got a chariot. Nice. Play another one. No attacks because they'll just activate the chariot and kill it. No blocks. Please give me a Massacre one. That's not a Massacre one, but that's alright. Sure. Yep. See if we're capable of actually causing enough damage here. Yeah. Okay. Alright. And just like that. No attacks. So as you can see, Massacre Worm is pretty devastating. My opponent decides that's the point to give it up. Alright, let's go on to the next game. Looks like a solid opening hand. We'll keep this. Couple of creatures, bit of removal. Card draw there if we need it. So we'll see how it goes. Keep. Say hello. Bit of love there. Cool. Play the serrated scorpion. Just keep doing our thing. Awkward mana for them by the look of it. See if they've got any other creatures they can play right now. Alright, so they're back down to 20, we're at 16, so we really need to start getting a few bits of damage in, it would seem. Okay, next turn, I'm thinking, depending on what we draw into, but Rankle. Equal, even, odd. Okay. Just keep chipping away. Discard a card, sacrifice a creature. Don't know if they're going to have removal to get rid of Rankle or not. Okay. Yep. Bit of life gain and a bit of land. It's always good. They seem to be struggling a little bit on their three land, which is uncool for them. I think I'll be taking this one. Discard a card. Yeah. Discard a card. I don't have any cards to discard, so that works out for me. Less good for them. Guessing the removal spell is going to go so they can get in the land, but who knows? Yep. Okay, so they bring in a tapped land. Yep. Down to 13 we go. See what we draw into next turn. Oh, okay. Nice. Yep. Okay. Go this way. No, none of them at the moment. Just going to keep chipping away for damage. Yes, thank you. I like the that mechanic. It's pretty gross. Whenever an opponent sacrifices a non-token permanent or discards a permanent card, you may put that card from the graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. So currently they can do 6 damage. I can do 7, 10, 12. So, too shabby. Looks like they got some form of removal to get rid of him. Yes. No. Yes. No. No blocks. Take 3. Down to 10. I don't think my opponent has an answer. Okay, maybe they do. I could sacrifice everything here. I'll take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. See what we draw. All right, come on now. Whew. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 6. That can't attack this turn, so that's good. Yeah, all right. See what happens, eh? 4, 5. I don't know what they're going to do. Alright, got a bunch of them, that's great. 5, 6, 7, 8. They could kill 8. I think they just got there, maybe. Not really sure if there's anything they can do other than win. Oh man. One, two, three. 3. One, two, three. Yeah, okay. Wow, they could have won that. They could have won it, but we got lucky. All right, let's go on to the next one. This hand looks fairly strong, so it's definitely a keep. Say hello. Love. Attack for 1. See if we can get that extra bit of damage in. Okay. Attack for 3. Double major. 1 blue, 1 green. Copy. Yeah, okay. Nice. Alright. Opting. And discard the Dream Devourer and sacrifice the Serrated Scorpion. Okay, so, interesting. So they've got access to 6 mana at the moment. Okay. Hopefully they can't flash mutate, but they could. They might be able to. Sure. When this creature mutates, you may return target creature your opponent controls to its immune. Okay, cool. My opponent is taking their time, their sweet time, trying to work out a way out of the death grip I've got them in. That's not really a death grip. Okay. Cool. Sure. Down to 18 I go. So what is it they can do right now? So they attack in, I block. Yeah. They scry 2, then draw a card. Yeah. They mutate again, bounce that back, do 10 damage. I play a Rancor, attack, both sacrifice a creature. They lose that. It's tough. Currently at 3, 4, 5, 6. Excuse me, 6 mana. They're going to have 2 mana up if they don't play any of this. Yeah, okay, so another land. Ooh, right. Cool. Death touch. Bounce my dude back. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And discard a card, sacrifice a creature, done. They might have a counter spell in hand. It's unlikely, but they might. Graveyard. Hell yeah. Copy target creature spell you control, except it isn't a legendary if this... Oh, okay. Right. Sure. Wow. Why can't I cast this? Just cause. Nothing. Just do our thing. This is looking pretty good for us, boys and girls. We get there. All right, let's go and do the final thoughts on this deck. Well, look, I got to be completely honest. I like the idea of this deck, but it doesn't perform as strong as I hoped it would. I played a heap of games with this against a heap of different types of decks, and some of them it just felt like it was a walk in the park and no problem at all. Other decks or other times against exactly the same decks, it really struggled. Biggest thing I see with this particular deck is if you don't get the right pieces at the right time, you just seem to be able to do very little. There's not a lot of utility in the deck. I think some of the synergies are really clever, but probably a little bit too clever rather than practical. So all in all, I will give this deck a C-. It's not something that I would be opting to play a lot of in the future, only because I found it quite challenging to pilot in a way that made it sort of more consistent. I think if it was tuned differently, maybe put some other cards in there to give it a bit more flexibility, it could work better. Maybe removing some of the colorless lands. That was one of the fears I had coming into playing this deck, that it would actually stumble because of the devotion to black element. But all in all, look, it's not a bad deck, and I think that if you're playing casually against friends, or you just want to play something a little bit different for fun, go for gold. Ultimately, I wouldn't be taking this into some sort of significant tournament. Look, as I said before, C-. It seems a bit harsh from my side, but that's what I think it deserves. As with all of these things, I like to remind everyone I stream Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, which is Greenwich Mean Time plus 10 hours. If you're not able to obviously get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, if you live in a different country, I do have a YouTube channel that you're watching this on. You can subscribe there, press the bell icon, and you'll get notifications when I upload, which is every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at 10 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. We also have a Facebook page. These are all under the BigCraigO, and we have a Discord as well under the BigCraigO, the crew. If you are a follower on the Twitch channel or a subscriber on the Twitch channel, you actually unlock additional functionality on the Discord. So consider that. Other than that, guys, look, I really appreciate all the support that everyone gives me. Speaking of support, down below here, you can see that I've got two different channel sort of helpers and friends. Grey Viking Games is in the link tree below. You'll be able to find a link. If you click on that, you can go there, go to their website. You can buy cosmetics and codes for Arena. Anything you purchase whilst going through that particular link gives us a small kickback, which we can then convert into codes to give away on stream. The other friend that we've got, a long-time supporter of the channel, is Spectrum Games. They're based out of Sydney, Australia. They're a retailer of magic cards and accessories. Go and check out their web store at www.spectrumgaming.com.au. Have a look and see if they've got what you want. If they don't, contact them. They may be able to source it for you. Other than that, guys, I'm going to head off now. Have a fantastic one, and I look forward to seeing you on the battlefields.